That's working, I think.
Today, more than 18% of students in the United States wear uniforms. In the past, it was mostly private schools that required them, but more and more public schools are bringing on jumpers and blazers. In Cleveland, Boston, Chicago, Miami, more than half of all public schools require them. In New Orleans, kids at 95% are decked out in them. With more families requiring uniforms, getting ready in the morning is a breeze for more families. Many experts say that uniforms improve learning, make schools safer, and even help students feel happier. Fights are not breaking out in schools because someone is wearing a more expensive coat than another one. In grades 6 through 12, there has been a rise in attendance for students who have worn uniforms in the school compared to those who do not wear uniforms. This comes from research and exams schools' uniforms' impact on education. Students should wear uniforms in school because they will perform better, feel safer in school, and also have more school spirit. You can see this in the paper that I handed out. Uniforms take away the stigmas away from the classroom, making it easier for children to learn. Children who wear uniforms in school will perform better. In grades 6 through 12, there has been a rise in attendance for students who wear uniforms. Students probably feel more comfortable in school, so they are more likely to show up for class. Parents have an easier time getting their children dressed and ready for school when they only have to put a uniform on. Research shows that it can also improve test scores. Children are more focused on their class and the material involved, so they are more likely their test scores will rise. At a junior high in the Northwest region that just adopted school uniforms, school officials recently administered a mock Sat 9 test, which were aimed at students in grades 9 through 11 to test their abilities in a variety of subjects, and found that their test scores generally were higher in recent years. Improving test scores mean that children are paying more attention in class to what teachers are teaching about. Children are more focused on what they are learning. President Clinton was a big proponent of uniforms because children learn to evaluate themselves on the inside instead of the outside. Children will pay attention more in class because they will not focus on another person's gang affiliation, distractive clothing, or even inappropriate clothing that the other sex is wearing. Educating our children as well as keeping our children safe in the classroom is very important. Children who wear a uniform in school are much safer. The dress code is now easier for administrators to enforce. Administrators had a tough time enforcing a dress code prior because many students all wear different things. With uniforms in place, it is easier for them to wear the same thing, and if someone doesn't wear a uniform, they will stick out like a sore thumb. Dress codes usually limits as to what children should wear to school, but uniforms require stricter rules. The uniforms would do away with inappropriate items that girls or boys might be trying to wear. Following the requirements of school uniforms, Long Beach, California Unified School District, there was a 22% drop in crime for the grades K through 8. Prior to switching to uniforms, Mr. Nichols of the junior high in the Northwest region said that 15 students were found in 1 year hiding a weapon-like item in their baggy clothes. After switching, no children were found with weapons in their clothes. Prior to switching, it was also expected that they would find that there would be 2 to 3 fights a day. However, after uniforms, there were only a couple of incidents a year. Uniforms would prevent children from competing for the best look and help them pay attention. Children who do not wear uniforms might pick on one another for something that looks silly. Other children might get bullied for not having the coolest or most expensive item in the store. This would make children who cannot afford such luxuries feel bad or down upon themselves, and also might bring more crime into the schools. Children should wear uniforms because it evens the playing field for all children looking the same, and then children will not be judged based upon what is inside of them. Having children who are safe in school would also mean that they are probably much happier because they do not have their guard up. Children are happier in school, so they have more pride in their school and school spirit. When they go out, they know they are together. It makes them feel more of a belonging. Mr. Nichols said school spirit is building. Children from one school can stand together and support their school. They feel more connected to each other because they all have to wear the same thing and nobody looks better than another person. Schools switching to uniforms has a big impact on the schools with international children, for they feel more comfortable in their surroundings. There was one school called Cameron Elementary School which had over 40 different international students. and implementing uniforms helped unify the school. Changing schools is one thing, but coming from a different country is very hard, and switching to a different culture. By wearing a uniform, they can fit in with everybody because they are all wearing the same items. Children feel much happier in school when they are wearing uniforms. They can focus on creating friendships that are not based upon what people are wearing, but lasting friendships that are from inside. Children do not need to be worried about being judged about the type of clothing they are wearing. Children being happy in school should make parents be advocates of uniforms in their community as well. Children should wear uniforms because it benefits both families, children, and schools. Children who wear uniforms will perform better in school because their attendance and test scores will be higher. Secondly, children will feel safer in schools with uniforms because violence and bullying are less likely. Thirdly, children will feel much happier in schools because they will stand together instead of work against each other. All children should wear uniforms, for we all want our children to be educated in safe and happy environments.